What's up and welcome back to the channel. I did decide to do my favorite 5 movies and my fucking most hated or least favorite or whatever the fuck list back to back. The idea would be that I immediately afterwards just did the 5 movies that I disliked the most during this year. But something worth mentioning though is that I'm by no means a movie critic or review or anything like that. So this is literally just the previous list and everything else that I will still list for 2020, and also these movies that I didn't like is purely from I didn't like it. It wasn't like I'm not the point that I'm trying to make is that I generally don't spend money on something that I already just assume that I'm not gonna like. But these movies, I ended up watching them because either like something in the trailer intrigued me, or unfortunately, to be honest, in the number one spot, the most hated movie that I had, or my most disliked movie from 2020, I ended up hate watching that because the trailer, I was like, dude, this cannot be fucking as bad as the trailer makes it out to be. I'm gonna need to just give this a fucking try and see what this is like, because Jesus, this can't be fucking real. But other than that, look, the point is just that I'm sure that there's other movies that are potentially worse than the ones that I have on my list here, first of all. And secondly, that I might have missed some real stinkers during this year. I mean, Cuties, for instance, comes to mind, right? Which I didn't watch at all. I had no fucking reason to watch it. I knew it was gonna be fucking ass. It seemed like it was gonna be ass. The trailer looked like fucking ass. It just wasn't gonna be anything that I wanted to watch. And I don't even give a fuck about all of the drama around that and everything that came from that. I just looked at it and I was like, this is not a movie that I'm gonna join. I didn't even have to pay money to watch that because it was a fucking Netflix movie. But I'm not gonna, I value my time. I'm not gonna waste my time to watch that. So anyway, that was a super long explanation for, something silly. But okay, so starting at number 5 with my, least favorite movies from 2020. 2020. Yes. And movies that I didn't like last year. Number 5 would be Wonder Woman 1984. Now, I'm a huge Marvel fan. I'm a huge comics fan in general. I like Batman. So what I'm trying to say is I'm not just like a Marvel super geek. Like I like the Disney, the DC movies. Obviously, unfortunately, their quality has not been fucking, at like the Marvel level. I think Marvel with the MCU, they've cracked the recipe or the fucking formula or whatever you want to say. And so therefore, the movies just tend to be like a much higher quality. But I cannot fucking say that I didn't go into Wonder Woman 1984 with high expectations, because the first Wonder Woman was out of what was created for the DC universe, and I'm talking about like Batman fucking versus Superman, which was fucking terrible, and Justice League, which was fucking shit, and Aquaman, which I did not fucking like. Wonder Woman was actually really good because in its own little area it was done very well. And even though Gal Gadot was not like who I would really see as Wonder Woman, yeah, I enjoyed Chris Pine and I enjoyed the whole setting of the movie, and yeah, it came together quite well. And honestly, I thought that Patty Jenkins had like an idea of what she wanted this character to be, and she was obviously given like a lot of creative license and all of that. Not to say that she went so completely outside it, but it's just none of that fucking came true with the sequel, right? So it looked like Patty Jenkins had no fucking idea what Wonder Woman was all about. And my biggest criticism of the movie would probably be the fact that everything that happens in this movie doesn't matter a fuck, because it's a prequel to the actual Wonder Woman, the first movie. And so there's a lot of stuff that happens in this movie which is out of place, and you're like, okay, but wait a minute, if this happened, then how the fuck are we seeing what we're seeing in the other Wonder Woman and in Justice League and all of that? Because it completely fucking invalidates half the shit that Wonder Woman is all about in the Justice League movie, for instance, and in Batman versus Superman. So yeah, like I said, So I guess some other problems that I had with it is I don't understand why they. And again, I said it in the previous video, but there are going to be spoilers here. So if you haven't seen any of these movies and for some reason you want to fucking watch them and you hear me talking about them, there's a chance that I might say something that happens in the movie, and so therefore this is a general fucking spoiler warning. So yeah. I don't understand why the fuck they had to bring back Chris Pine. I get the point that he needs to be the thing that helps her. And again, I'm going into spoiler territory, so let's rather not say that. But I understand the reason why they use this character in the movie, but it's just, to me, it was like a fucking cop out, and it was shit. I enjoy his character, and it was good, and that was some of the best parts of the movie. But yeah, I just don't see the point. Kristen Wiig for me as Cheetah was miscast, honestly. I don't like. Sometimes I think in these cases it's better just to use someone that's not like a fucking brand name or something. Nothing against Kristen Wiig. I think she's a phenomenal actress. She's a phenomenal comedic actress. Bridesmaids to this day is like one of my favorite fucking movies. So, but that not saying like I just don't think this was the right cast for that. Pedro Pascal as Maxwell Lord, also just I don't know if he wasn't the right fit for it, if he just wasn't really trying, but I wasn't feeling it. So overall, I know this is only the number 5 spot, and I'm just going on like a fucking maniac about it. But yeah, I'm a bit of a comic super nerd, and I love this shit, and so it was like super disappointing. Actually, probably more disappointing than the other ones on this list because it's the one thing that I had like a vested interest in. So yeah, anyway, that's Wonder Woman 1984 at position 5. Now, position 4 is unfortunately another comic movie, and that's The New Mutants. So this came out in August, and the idea here was to take the New Mutants franchise and put like a sort of like a horror spin on it, and when this fucking movie ended up getting delayed for like almost a year or something like that, like I should have just known like it's gonna fucking suck, it's not gonna be great. And yeah, unfortunately it wasn't great. It's not like terrible, it's not like getting fucking waterboarded or something like that, but it's just, I don't know if this is how I want to spend an hour and a half of my time. And then furthermore, knowing that some other movies are doing it so well when it comes to this superhero genre and fucking everything like that, it's really sucks ass for me that this just doesn't fucking cut the mustard. Anya Taylor-Joy and fucking Elise Braga and Maisie Williams, and I mean they're trying and everything like that, but it's such a fucking miss, and it's just no fun to watch. I just didn't enjoy it at all, and so yeah, it just wasn't for me. It was a missed opportunity, and I don't know what the fuck is going on with them not being able to, like, the last, I don't know, 5 fucking movies about, you know, X-Men or mutants or anything in general has been fucking terrible. So just give the shit to Kevin Feige. Just give it to the MCU. Just let him fucking do something with it. Let him take 4, 5, 6 years. Let the fucking X-Men and mutants and all that shit calm down, and then bring them in organically like they brought fucking Spider-Man into the fold or something like that. It's probably going to be the better bet, but anyway. Okay, number 3 is You Should Have Left, which is a horror, supernatural, thriller kind of fucking movie by, it's got Kevin Bacon in it and Amanda Seyfried. It came out like halfway through the year, like June or something like that, and me and the wife, we enjoy horror, thriller, supernatural stuff, but we both have very particular taste. But the trailer looked funky, right? It looked like it had something going for it. It made like this whole promise on like suspense and, you know, like what the fuck is going on in this house and what. So the premise is they, you know, Kevin Bacon and his wife Amanda Seyfried and their kid, they go stay in this fucking house, and it's got like a hidden room that, you know, like he figures out is there, and then the room makes him lose time and this whole fucking thing, and that's essentially it. Like, it never gets any fucking cooler than that. So the trailer paints this whole thing like it's gonna be like the, you know, like there's more than that I just said now, because that's all learned from the trailer, but it never gets more than that. Both characters Kevin Bacon's a great actor. Amanda Seyfried's a great actress. But the characters that they play are so shallow and shit and stupid and fucking not interesting. And there's no fun in rallying behind them. They're both like terrible fucking human beings. The characters that they play, not them. So yeah, it's just fucking what a fucking waste. I ended up watching it in 2 sittings because it was so frustrating watching the first 40 minutes that I was just like, fuck it. And then I have this whole problem with having already spent the time, so I had to come back and finish it. You know, that's a story for another day. But yeah, fucking boring. All right. Number 2 is Greenland, which is, you know, Deep Impact, fucking whatever the fuck, like another one of those disaster movies, like a fucking meteorite's gonna hit the earth, and like, did we need another one of these? No, we fucking didn't. It came out in December. It's got Gerard Butler in it, and Marina Baccarin, who I just remember her from Homeland, and again, she's probably a great actress. I mean, and she's probably like a really nice person, but the character she played in Homeland was fucking terrible. I fucking hated that character. And then the character that she plays here is fucking terrible and really, really fucking irritating. And then they do this whole bait and switch right halfway, or let's say 3 fucking quarters through the movie or something like that, where something happens and then it actually ends up being like Gerard Butler is actually the asshole, and so now you're supposed to feel sorry for her, but by this time you just think she's so fucking irritating and terrible, the character, once again, that you're just like, who gives a fuck, like fuck her, right? So but yeah, it's for me, it's weird, man. We had Unhinged this year, and then this movie, which, you know, this was Gerard Butler, and Unhinged was, Jesus, and now it's gonna like fucking slip my head.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is that I know that Gerard Butler can act. And he's done so in many movies, and he's you know, been great in lots of other films. But in this one, this just seems like he was just like, dude, I need like 8 months to fucking, you know, just kill, and these fucking guys giving me this fucking script. Let me just go get some money and do this. Like, it's so fucking, you know, phoned in, and yeah, it's just not great. So yeah, it's a disaster movie. Even the fucking effects are not that great, because they put a weird spin on it, where it's much more like about the relationships and stuff, and not so much about shit getting blown up and fucking everything like that. So it's a disaster movie without the disaster until right near the end. So it's disaster fucking light, diet disaster. So yeah, just again, frustrating to watch. My wife actually ended up not finishing the movie because it's just, yeah, it was just really frustrating to watch, and they really sort of just stuck on certain things of like how cruel humans are to other humans in the face of a crisis. But then the minute they get to one of these areas where like the military or whoever has to help them, the military's like, yeah, bro, like, we'll fucking help you, like, even though we're all gonna fucking die and you're gonna go get saved, or fucking go to Greenland and go sit in a fucking cave, like, you know, we'll fucking help you. But meanwhile, every single stranger that they meet on the way there is like a piece of shit that is just trying to climb over fucking you and, you know, fuck you over and take your stuff. So yeah, inconsistent storytelling, and just, you know, not really great. That was number 2. And then lastly, number 1, and this is the one that I said that I ended up hate watching. Like, from the trailer, I knew it was going to be fucking terrible. I didn't want to watch it, but I was like, dude, I have to watch this because it's just, you know, I just know it's going to be fucking terrible. And that was Songbird. Now, Songbird is the first of what I assume is many, 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 many fucking movies that are going to be made about a pandemic, or the pandemic, or fucking C-19, or all that shit and everything like that, or something like that. And so, you know, of course, Michael Bay would be the one that jumped at the fucking gun on this shit and brought it out. I cannot fucking tell you who plays in this movie. I know Alexandra Daddario is in it. I know fucking Peter Stormare is in it. But it's so fucking terrible, and it's such a fucking blatant grab, and it's just, it's so fucking tasteless, right? While people are actually suffering from the effects of this pandemic that we're in and everything like that, to make a movie that touches on it and just has this whole totalitarian, way of looking at it, and people chasing you down or fucking shooting you if you break fucking quarantine and everything like that. But yeah, it's just without getting into the reason of whether this movie should exist or not, and how fucking tasteless it is and how insensitive it is and all of that. It's just a fucking bad film. It's just a terrible film. It is a weird fucking movie to exist and for people to want to be in, and for Michael Bay to have directed. I don't even know. I mean, he could just be a producer or something like that. I'm not sure, but I'm sure he's attached to the movie in some way. But again, like, this would be like, I wouldn't want this fucking thing next to my name. But anyway, so yeah, that's Songbird. It's fucking terrible. If I can give you advice, like, don't fucking watch it. Just watch the trailer and then just wash your hands of it like you would wash the fucking pandemic off your hands after you've been to the shops. But yeah, it's fucking terrible. And that's my list of 5 movies that I didn't like. I think didn't like is maybe putting it mildly, because I've obviously shat all over these 5 movies. But these are the 5 films that I did not enjoy, my least enjoyable films of 2020. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. If you agree with my pick, if you have some ones that you want to toss in there and go like, this movie fucking sucked too. But other than that, as usual, thanks for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, and just generally being fucking awesome and being around. And wherever you are, have a great morning, afternoon, evening. Take care of yourself and fucking cheers.